Okay. Hi everyone, good morning. I'm Aishwarya and it's my privilege to welcome all of you to this webinar on COVID-19, why you need to get vaccinated, organized by Press Information Bureau Goa under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Government of India in association with Dempo College of Commerce and Economics as part of their continuous campaigning spread across live sessions in various social media platforms such as Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, etc. Today, we have with us Dr. Shekhar Salkar, oncologist, and Mrs. Gauri Tamba, Vice Principal, Dempo College of Commerce and Economics. Firstly, I would like to invite Vinod Kumar, Deputy Director, Press Information Bureau, Goa, to give the welcome address.
Thank you, Aishwarya. Ever since this COVID outbreak happened in our country, Press Information Bureau and Government of India has been waging a two-front war. One of that of the pandemic, which has crippled us, and another that of the infodemic. A campaign started by miselements in our society to give false information, pseudoscience. So PIB is in forefront in fighting both the pandemic and the infodemic. Our communication strategy that supports the COVID-19 vaccine rollout in India seeks to disseminate timely, accurate, and transparent information about the vaccines and to alleviate the apprehensions about the vaccine, to ensure its acceptance and encourage its uptake. Higher vaccination rates makes the outbreak less likely. It also reduces the need of preventive measures, just like what happened in Israel a couple of days ago. Such as we can remove the border closures, we can reduce the travel restrictions once our vaccine uptake is high enough. To support and encourage vaccine uptake, we have our own strategies, like managing and mitigating potential disappointment expressed by unmet demand for vaccine for eagerness among people, addressing the vaccine hesitancy that could arise because of the apprehensions around vaccine safety, efficacy, and other myths and misconceptions. To provide information on the potential risk also, and to mitigate unintended crises, like we have something called AEFI, adverse events following immunization. Our vaccine uptake strategy also depends upon community engagement with credible communication approaches for each target group to build trust in vaccines. And for that, we have to identify traditionally non-vaccine resistant group and resistant groups, communities, etc. Based on our prior experiences like Indradhanush, Mission Indradhanush, intensified Mission Indradhanush, measles, rubella, 5 key elements of the strategy has been deployed in order to develop and support rollout of introduction of this COVID vaccine. Those are advocacy, capacity building, AFA crisis communication, social mobilization, community engagement, media engagement, and social media. As part of our wider social media engagement, we have this webinar today, and for this webinar, we have a very well-known doctor from our Goa community, Dr. Shekhar Salkar. He is a renowned surgical oncologist. He is the president of our Goa IMA chapter. So I'm not prolonging my speech. I have to hand over this thing to Aishwarya. Aishwarya, you can take upon, and we can have a wonderful webinar today.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to welcome Mrs. Gauri Tamba, Vice Principal, Dempo College of Commerce and Economics, Goa, to render her keynote address.
Thank you, Aishwarya. Respected dignitaries and all of you who have logged in, a very good morning to you. As the Vice Principal of SS Dempo College of Commerce and Economics, I'm here to deliver the keynote address. As all of you are aware, ever since the outbreak of COVID-19, a huge number of lives have been lost. COVID has created a havoc in our lives. It has changed the way we work, the way we interact. Global economies have tumbled. Healthcare systems have been stretched beyond limits, and the list goes on. While all of us are tired of the pandemic does not seem to be tired of us. And what is more, now the second wave has set in with all its fury. We need to be very, very careful. Fortunately for us, the beginning of 2021 saw a lot of vaccines coming. Numerous vaccines have got emergency approvals. As of now, millions of doses have been administered worldwide. But this program of vaccination has a lot of challenges. People have their own misconceptions about the vaccine, its efficacy, the mutation of the virus, the availability of doses, and so on. So, this skepticism on the part of the society will impede the success of the vaccination program. It's a huge stumbling block for us. So, students, here is an excellent opportunity for you. An eminent doctor, Dr. Shekhar Salkar, is here to guide you. Let us do our bit to educate ourselves about the vaccination and taking an informed decision to vaccinate ourselves. You have been acting in a very COVID responsible manner. Your behavior has been very COVID appropriate till now. You've been wearing a mask. You've been experiencing. You've been doing social distancing. You've been frequently washing your hands. But all that is not enough. Now we need to go one step ahead. The third phase of vaccination for students above the age of 18 will be starting on 1st of May. I urge all of you to take a vaccination as fast as possible. Dr. Salkar is here to dispel your doubts, so please go ahead and feel free to voice your concerns. So once again, unless all of us are safe, none is safe. The very proverb, man is not an island is very true today. Our actions, our behavior acutely determine the health of so many others. So please, let us be socially responsible. Let us do our bit. I urge you to be very interactive in this webinar. And now I sign off, wishing all of you a very fruitful webinar. Thank you. Have a good day and stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now it's my privilege to introduce our key speaker, Dr. Shekhar Salkar, to today's webinar. Dr. Shekhar Shivram Salkar is a renowned oncologist who hails from Goa and is presently the Chief of Department of Onco-Surgery Manipal, Goa Hospital, and also functions as the General Secretary of National Organization for Tobacco Eradication. He has also attended the 13th World Conference on Lung Cancer at San Francisco. He has also served as the President of Indian Medical Association Goa and is also currently the Joint Secretary of Goa Cancer Society. He continues to serve the society as a proud COVID warrior. It's my absolute honor to welcome you to today's webinar, sir. So before we begin, I would also like to bring to the kind attention of viewers that you're welcome to ask your questions to the doctor through the YouTube live chat option, which is available to the right of the YouTube live stream window. So as we begin, doctor, I would just like to brief about the general COVID situation as on today in our country. We have more than 28 lakhs of active cases and number of deaths have been 1,95,000 and counting. And total vaccines administered till date is 14 crore and above. And India has rolled out the world's largest vaccination drive on Jan 16th, 2021. Still, there is so much fear around vaccination. Like people are hesitant on getting vaccinated because there's so much myth surrounding this, including, there'll be behavioral changes once you get vaccinated, or even appearance might change, or there'll be hormonal imbalances, or even to the extent that the government is trying to inject some sort of chip into your body that is going to track you down everywhere. Now the recent one that has joined this bandwagon is that girls who are going through periods can't get vaccinated, during their periods of 5 days before or after. So what is your take on this, doctor? And why is it so important to get vaccinated at this point of time?
I think what Mrs. Tamba has said is extremely important, that we have to follow COVID appropriate behavior. Wearing mask, having social distancing, and keeping your hands clean all the time. But that's not enough, because now we have got a weapon which we can control the disease. And
doctor, I think your video got stuck.
value. The time has proved. First of all, people were hesitant that is it correct how the vaccine can come so fast, because before this the fastest vaccine which has come is for mumps, it took 4 years.
Yeah.
Now within 11 months, that means actually if you ask me, within 10 days of knowing that there is some virus like this in China, US scientists have already decoded that SARS virus and they started planning for the vaccination. And because of that, we have now vaccines which are almost so many, almost 12 vaccines are in use as of now. In India, we are having only two of them. One is Covishield and one is Covaxin. Covaxin is purely Indian made, while Covishield is Oxford AstraZeneca with partnership of Serum India of India. The production is most important production is in India in Pune. But important part is first there was a hesitancy. People also were asking when the vaccine will come, when the vaccine will come. Now, when the vaccine has come, they are asking too many queries. Is it safe? Is it this? Is it that? See, we have got now sufficient data live on people. Forget about the scientific data. Now, almost in and the side effects are minimum is 0.1. One thing you have to understand that vaccine not only will give you some immunity, but it prevents you from second infection. You may get second infection, but at least the rate is extremely less. Getting hospitalization because of COVID also decreases. And also the third part is that the deaths due to this COVID is almost negligible. For example, I will give you a data of US. In the US, there were around 70 million people were vaccinated till now. Out of this 70 million, only 5,000 people got second time. Means again, in spite of having vaccination, they got only 78 people succumbed to the COVID. That means this vaccine is 99.99.99 success rate is there. Now 78 may be a number for us, but we want to save every man on this earth. We want to save every man and woman on this earth. But sometimes in medicine it is just not possible because only those 78 families will know the importance of those deaths. For us, it may be a scientific way. We were thinking in terms of number game, but for every death is a worrisome for us because every death is causing misery to the family. He is a earning member of the family. He is a young child in the family. He is a wife who is. It makes a suffering for that family. Huge, and it takes long time for them to come back to normal. So I think. Now it is proved beyond doubt that vaccine is a savior for us and vaccine is the only thing which can prevent us. See, if we had gone a little faster than what we are now, see, first 1 or 2 months, we started on 16th of January. Vaccination process was started on 16th of January. Today we have completed almost 4 months of this. First 2 months were absolutely negligible uptake.
Yeah.
Now when the data starts coming and now again the second wave is coming, now people are coming in a big number. We were not thinking that after this Tika also, there's a big rise in the number who are taking people vaccination. And now the threat of second wave has really made people worry and they are coming in. But still now availability of the vaccine also is important. I think government is trying its best, the Serum India and the this vaccine biotech is trying to produce a lot of vaccines so that people can take it faster. And now that from 1st onwards, 18 above are allowed to get vaccinated. You have to go on the app, you have to register yourself. Only those people who are registered can take the vaccine. So you please register yourself. And there are some things, as you have said, I think we'll come one by one on those issues.
Yeah.
The contraindication, who should not take vaccine?
Yeah.
There are, as of today, there is only guidelines from the central government. Is only 2 or 3 which are important. One is if you are pregnant mother, lactating mother, and third is allergy. These are the 3 important parts. Regarding actually, if you go by scientific way and some science and some studies in the US and UK on Pfizer and Moderna have already studied and they have said that even in pregnancy it is safe. But as of today, government guidelines say that pregnant woman and lactating woman should not take. That's the only thing. Third is allergy. Allergy to, there almost if you start counting allergies, every man will be having or every woman will be having some sort of allergies. But if you have a significant allergy, then yes, you have to tell the doctor that you are having allergy. and you take with precautions. I can tell you, in my last, I mean, we must have vaccinated more than around 5-6,000. In my personal capacity, I have witnessed them, and none of them had any significant allergic phenomena. Some 3 or 4 has given a history of penicillin allergy, medicinal allergy, which is the highest type of allergies. People have, like they said, in the past we have fainted, after this we have swelling. Them also we took the precaution, keeping the adrenaline intact. Some of them, were very VIP. I took them to the ICU, give them one Gelco, put the Gelco, means IV line is on. We may keep the steroids on. So keep everything and give. Nothing has happened to anybody. So it is a comparatively extremely safe vaccine to be taken. And I feel that all above 18 should try to vaccinate themselves as early as possible, so that we have a see. You have to understand one thing: unless 70% is of the population gets vaccinated, we will not consider that full India is vaccinated. Yes, less than 18 is approximately 30-40 crores. So we want approximately around 70 crore of population. It's a huge number. It is including USA, Brazil, all European countries together. India is that much is the load on India. So it's not that Israel, we are taking example of Israel. Israel completed fast vaccine, but Israel is like a one state of ours.
Yeah.
Absolutely one state of ours, and they have a very educated society, highly educated society. Most of them have an urbanized society. They understand, and the government went really, they put all restrictions on them that you will not get this certificate. If you don't show certificate, you will not be allowed to sit in the even restaurant. Like that, if you start doing, people will start more criticizing rather than helping. That this is a good way of doing. So I feel that there is sufficient data now that because of faster vaccination in Israel today is mask free. And if you want to have a mask free, good life as early as possible, you must try to vaccinate yourself, your dear ones. See that your mother, your father, everybody gets this. In Goa specific, if I take, we have around 15 lakh of population. Out of them, around 5 lakh population is not eligible because they are below 18 or they are pregnant or that type of thing. So we have approximately 10 lakh population to be vaccinated. So out of that, even 70%, that means 7. We have already vaccinated 3 lakhs. So we need another 3.5, 4 to 5 lakhs to get to that herd immunity little bit, so that most of the people get vaccinated. So we need that fast. See, we can't go on vaccinating everyone, and by the time another 6 months goes, and I have taken vaccine on 15th of January, my antibody will start decreasing. I may have to take something else again. So you have to have a fixed time limit. In that time limit, we try to vaccinate maximum people to get best results. You have any other queries, you can go in between.
Yeah. So doctor, that was also my next question. As in, how long will the immunity last once you take, say, both doses of vaccine? How long will the immunity last?
See, as of today, there is no proper data to say exactly how long it is going to last, because all studies have not completed even 1 year. So now we have actually started somewhere in December. Some countries have started a little earlier than us, somewhere in December. Maybe as the time will go, we will know. But I am quite sure that at least 6 to 8 months, there is no problem for this. And if everybody gets vaccinated in 6 to 8 months, that everybody will have some amount of immunity in their body. And even if the antibodies are less, maybe the recognition of the virus is easier, because it is not easy that your body will forget that this is something like a foreign this. So it is very important to realize that we should get vaccinated fast in the standard time limit and get them, most of the people get them vaccinated. And consider 6 to 8 months is a standard line where, as of now, at least we know the data that at least even after 8 months. For example, me, I took in the 16th of January. Then I did my test 1 month back after my second one, almost a month. And I did a SARC antibodies, which were approximately 238. After 1 month, I repeated now, and it has increased to 900. So that means it is increasing over a period of time. So I hope that, at least myself is reasonably safe from, but I have to wear my mask, I have to do social distancing, I have to wear, in spite of both the vaccines, and you have completed 14 days of the vaccine, these things has to be done. You will can't just I am vaccinated and then I will go to a dance and I will shout there and I will do or don't wear my mask. No, these things are not allowed till we are in a position like Israel.
Yes, doctor. Yes. So, what if a person who took the first dose of vaccine, then later on gets COVID? So, should he go for the second dose of vaccine, or how should it be?
See, there are chances that if you take full vaccine also to that you may get vaccinated.
Yeah.
That most of them, only 7% of who got second time COVID. That means after vaccination also you get COVID. Only 7% were before 14 days of second dose. Most of them were in between the first and second dose. So that means your proper
Yeah.
immunity is not built. So once you build up second dose and 14 days after second dose, only 7% got. That means 93% got when they were not actually fully immunized properly. And it is possible because unless you don't wear proper this social distancing mask and all, because you are going around, you are going to the schools, you are going to the markets, you are going to this, you are likely to get infected from somewhere. So it is that problem is there. But suppose you get infected, then you have to continue after once your positive report comes, you can take the vaccine after 6 weeks. Suppose you take on first the report comes of April, then you take after 15th of May the vaccination,
Okay.
and you can complete the vaccination process.
Okay. Like also, doctor, as we all know now, there is a little
Even
shortage
those,
of vaccine.
even though
Yes, doctor. Yes, continue.
shortage
Continue.
of
No, you can continue, doctor. No problem.
no, see, sometimes you are not taken vaccination. You are not taken vaccination and you have come positive today. Like suppose on 1st of April, you came positive, you have not taken any vaccination. Then you wait for 6 weeks and then start your like a fresh first dose you take on 15th of May. So 1st April you are positive,
Yeah.
15th of May you take, and then you continue your 4 weeks or 6 weeks, whatever you want to take second dose, and then you can continue all those things.
Yeah. Okay, doctor. So I was asking you about the vaccine shortage in our country right now. So what happens if the second shot is delayed? Like there is no availability, then what is the impact?
See, actually when the studies were done, all studies were done considering as 4 weeks as a interval between first and second one. 4 weeks. All the studies which are done, long-term studies which are now there is 4 weeks was done. But when they analyzed subsequently, they found that even if you extend your second dose by 6 weeks to 3 months, your antibodies may last for a long period of time. And this was detected actually first in UK, I think. They found that we can increase. And then they thought that yes, if we get more time to vaccinate, more people will get first dose, at least one dose. Because they found that even after one dose, almost 65% your chances come down to get COVID. Is a substantial number. You know, even if you take one dose, your chance of getting COVID comes down by 65%. It's a huge number. And if you take a second dose, it will come down to by some 80% or 90%. So 10% people will get, in respect of you are vaccinated or not, but your chances of, severity, your chance of getting admission, your chance of dying is extremely low. So vaccination is important part.
Yeah. And doctor, the major fear is regarding the side effects of, taking a vaccine. So what are the general side effects that you have seen in people who are taking vaccines?
We have not seen any side effects approximately within 30 minutes. Normally, after giving vaccine, we keep the patient for 30 minutes. I should not call patient, people for 30 minutes observation. Because we want to see if something happens to him. I have talked, very few people might get little giddy, giddiness, because that is a very common. Any injection, you take injection of Voveran, you take any injection for painkiller also. Some people will get, headache, or some people will get giddiness. That normal vaccination fear, this is there, but they can just lie down for about 5-10 minutes and that job is over. The problem comes maybe after 8 hours to 15 to 20 hours. That time you may have a little chilliness, and you feel like full body pain, and maybe you have fever. Some of them may extend for about 2 to 3 days also. Little malaise, you don't feel like going out for work. And if you work very hard after vaccination, you will have more chances of sometimes like this malaise and body ache and all. Some people get even after 7 days little bit malaise, don't feel like going out, don't fight. But these are minor things compared to this. So there is nothing major. There are criteria like some people say that there is a clot formations and this formation. That is very very less. It is much less even though compared to smoking cigarette, compared to your alcohol intake. Vaccine is much safer
Yeah.
than cigarette and alcohol. Some will prefer to smoke then. So you don't try to find out how many complications have occurred. The benefit is extremely important. The benefit of the vaccine is outweighs the little bit of long-term effects or side effects which are having. And this, I think, the more problem was with the social media, spreading that you will not have children, you will not have this, your erectile dysfunction will be there, and then you will have clots in the body. So these things, they unnecessary, and people like to forward that
Yes.
negative thing faster than the positive image. Oh yeah, we will send, and then they will send to all the groups, and groups will further grow. Within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, everywhere people will spread without having a proper authenticating data on all these things. Except one data of little clottingness which is happening, clots which is happening. That too also is in a senior people, with elderly people, and more the elderly people, less is the immediate side effect. We have found that the elderly people don't get fever and all those things as much as younger people are getting. So younger people should get little bit. We normally give them 3 doses of Dolo tablets. We tell them if you feel like chills, you start taking Dolo for about 1 day, 3 times a day, which will settle your all the problems. So it is not that you require admissions, you require anything worse than that. So it is. I think fever. I think is a very little price you pay for the benefits of this vaccination.
Yeah, doctor. And what about people who have other diseases like diabetes or cancer or anything like that? Is it
They
safe for
should
them
take.
to take
They are
vaccine?
the one who should take it much faster.
Okay.
Except you have an acute illness. Acute illness means you have actually fever and you are admitted in a hospital. Then you don't take. You wait for that this to settle. You have an uncontrolled diabetes and you are admitted in the hospital. You don't take. But at home you can have any diabetes. You should come immediately and take. Then heart patients. There is some this about the people think we are most of them query are aspirin. I am taking aspirin. I am taking D-plat, which are blood thinners. Then I should take. I think you should take safely because you are worried about the clots. Then the blood thinners is actually going to help you. So blood thinners has to continue. Except maybe if you have a valve operation done and you are on acetylene or warfarin, which is which are blood thinners which are of higher this. Then you may consult your doctor. He will advise you to do the INR, with the one test, blood test. And if it is more than 3, you may wait for a date, stop this for 1 or 2 days, take the vaccine, and next day you can start the injection. So basically, I'm more worried about the hematoma developing on the arm. Because when your blood thinners are there and when you're giving injection, then maybe a swelling coming on the arm. That's the only thing. Otherwise, nothing else will happen to you. So it is very safe. Then the patients who are on actually chemotherapy, then you have to wait till the chemotherapy is over. If you are on a long-term immunosuppressant, like some arthritis patients and all are on long-term methotrexate and all, then maybe when you take the vaccine, next dose of within 1 month, you need to show that little bit less. You should you don't take the methotrexate for 1 week. Then you can continue your thing. So that I think the doctors will guide you as and when you have your family doctor, you can ask, or your consultant, you can ask. They will tell you what are this.
Okay, doctor. And so what are the aftercare procedures once you take vaccine? Is there, people think they need not use masks or sanitize once they are vaccinated. So can you just clarify on that?
No. See, once you vaccinate, still you have to have COVID appropriate behavior.
Yeah.
Now, what is this COVID appropriate behavior? First is wearing mask. Second is keeping a safe distance. It is better to keep 2 meters now. First, we were thinking about 1 meter to 1.5 meters. Better to do 2 meters. And the third one is keep your hands washing continuously whenever you touch something or whenever you come in contact with something. So it is very important to realize that you have to wear all those things. And first day after vaccination, don't do really hard work. Means don't go out in the sun and do a lot of work, gardening and all. Take rest for a day maximum, and then you can go ahead and do your regular work. You can office and work is not a problem. Hard work, people who are doing hard work in the sun, I think we need to do little bit of at least around 24 hours. They can take little rest.
Okay, okay, doctor. And there are new mutants and variants of COVID spreading now. So are these vaccines also effective for those mutants?
See, long-term studies are not done, but whatever little this now they have realized that at least Covishield and Covaxin both can take care of the new viruses also. See, these viruses are going to get mutated. Viruses are they are very smart players. They all know that this man in the earth, and they are going to bring something or other. So it is going on changing their behavior to suit the whatever you are preparing weapons for. These things are part and parcel, but at least the major part of this may be avoided if you take a vaccine. And tomorrow, if we find that this vaccine, some new one has to come, then we'll take it as and when it comes. But as of today, we are quite sure that the present vaccines can take care of the mutants also.
Okay, okay. Thank you, doctor. And what about like plasma and blood donation? That should be done before taking vaccination. So once a person has been
Yeah, that is
vaccinated, how?
because
Yeah, so
absolutely
after
very
how many
important question
days?
here.
Yeah. So after how many days can you again donate blood?
Yeah, see, if actually after you take a vaccine, 28 days you cannot take a vaccine, cannot donate blood for 28 days.
Okay.
Now you have two vaccines you take, first shot and second shot. In between there is a 15 days gap. In that gap also you can donate blood. But normally we tell them that you complete your vaccination process. That means day 1, day 28 or 6 weeks. After that around 28 days. After second dose 28 days you can donate. So it may come to around 2.5 to 3 months after the first dose. You will not be able to donate the blood, and that's why we want you before the vaccination, at least in 48 hours to 72 hours prior to your vaccination, you donate. If you are a regular donor, you better donate, because there will be scarcity in the hospitals if you don't donate blood, because even if you wish to donate, they may not take your blood. So please, those are regular donors are there and you want to donate, you must go to the hospitals and donate now, so that they can save your blood and can be used in that acute shortage. Not everybody will be there on the first. See, there will be people who will be taking on second, there will be people who will be taking on third, then some 15. So about 2-3 days prior, if you continuously started giving, then the blood bank will have a reasonable amount of blood, so that the other trauma patients and the other operative works like cancer patients and other chemotherapies and other who require lots of blood, they will be safe with this acute shortage.
Yes. Doctor, also, so many college students are watching this. So now young people have a more casual, outlook towards the COVID, because they think they'll not be affected, or even if they're affected, they'll do fine and everything. So since their vaccination starts from May 1st and registration starts from 28th, so do you have any personal experience to share, or anything that you've seen and something that you have to tell them?
We have seen even now in Goa, we have seen last 1 week almost. A lot of young people also have died. Yesterday, one 30-year-old fellow with no comorbidities died. Yes, I can understand one patient died who had advanced cancer also, but with no comorbidity, people are dying. So we are worried about this new mutant, the second wave. Second wave is seeing more of younger generation getting involved. Even children are getting involved. Children means like 1 year, 2 years. We did that test. Two of my close relatives also, I did that test just to see. And they don't have symptoms of fever and all. They have some loose motion, pain in abdomen, crankiness. So nowadays, actually, anything signs and symptoms comes, you have to first do the test. So children also are not, these are away from this COVID. So the younger generation also has to be very careful now, because they have to go out and work and earn money for the family. See, we cannot have total lockdowns and stop everything. Then what people will eat? Somebody has to, work for the regular, and it's not, government is not in a position to supply everything to everyone. So that also keeping in mind that some work has to be on. You are going to go out. You are going to meet a lot of people. You are going to, involve in a lot of activities for earning for your family. Then it is safer for you to complete this immunization schedule properly, so that you are at least 90% of your immunity is built up, and you have less chance of getting any severe any death due to this. See, one thing what we are more sure now is that death is prevented by vaccination. In Goa also, as of today, none of the vaccinated people have died. So it is very important data which is coming that extremely few people all over India also who have vaccinated properly have died. So I think it is important that you have to take in mind that see death is ultimate. Nobody can reverse the death. You go in the hospital, you suffer from a little bit, you stay for about 2, even if you spend some money and come back, it's okay, acceptable because there are so many other diseases also you go to the hospital. But death is, and that too such a virus, which is potentially controlled behavioral virus because of vaccination, and you are not taking vaccine and you are suffering from something and then you die, is actually not acceptable in the present situation. So you please get yourself vaccinated and follow all the guidelines what is given by the government, and I think you can keep yourself free and your dear ones also free of this COVID.
Yes, yes, doctor. And right now we have Covaxin and Covishield here in India. So there are so many questions regarding whether one is better than the other or which one is more effective. So what is your take on that?
So as of today, whatever available you take. See, you will not have too much of choice now because, like for example, in Goa, we have only Covishield as of today. Government has done only Covishield. There are a lot of people who have to take second dose, so we are going to buy Covishield also most of them. Yes, if it is freely available in the market and you have choice, you can take any vaccine which is of your choice. But the problem is that you have to take vaccine. Please take a vaccine, whichever you want. Please take a vaccine because everybody in the end, all the vaccines have been studied have shown that absolutely 99.99% success against death due to COVID. Anything, including Covaxin, including Covishield, including Pfizer, including Moderna, everything has shown, Sputnik, including that they prevent deaths. Your yes, efficacy, you may say some 60%, some 70%, some 90%. These are only efficacies and in the lab. In the live situation also, we felt that it has controlled deaths to a big way. So I think we should take vaccine whichever available to you. Only thing what you don't take, you take first dose of Covaxin and second dose of Covishield, that you cannot do because as of today there is no studies done like this. Intermingling of the two vaccines. So if you have taken first vaccine as a Covishield, second dose also has to be of Covishield. First dose of Covaxin, then second dose also has to be Covaxin. So this thing you have to keep in mind. That's why they give you this leaflet where it writes what dose you have taken, which dose you have taken, when you have taken, what is your probably next date of taking vaccine. So they give you. So keep this intact. And what you need is the Aadhaar card. Aadhaar card is important because Aadhaar card your date is there. So if you are less than 18, the portal will not update only your things. So they have fixed up the date. The 18 date, if it comes like for example 45 age, December 1976 was the cutoff date. So if you are born after December 1976, the portal will not accept your demand only. So if you are not uploaded on the portal, you will not get a vaccine because finally you have to get the vaccine. You will get a first preliminary certificate and then a final certificate. And that certificate will carry a lot of weight when you go outside, or suppose you want to go to USA. You have to have now with visa. You should have at least one dose given. Otherwise, they don't give you visa only. Yeah. So for younger generation, this is a very important point that you must take full dose of vaccine, and almost I would request at least 70 to 80% of this. It's a big chunk which is down. Almost I think around 50 crores of people will be vaccinated for this.
Okay, doctor. Also, can you just brief our viewers about how can they get registered to take vaccine, and where should they register themselves?
See, there is a CoWIN portal which is there. You can go type your code CVOTE.WIN and the Government of India. You can type, you will get this. Then you go on that and say registration. Then you go and register. You upload your Aadhaar card details because even if you write your number of Aadhaar card, automatically everything gets uploaded. And then you write your birth date because it's there on your Aadhaar card. So age automatically is calculated as per your Aadhaar card. So if you are falling in that category, you will be accepted, verified. Once your verification is done, you can take a vaccine. After taking a vaccine, you write that yes, I have taken a vaccine. Means they will write whoever is there, who is a data operator, and then you will get the certificate of that. Then you wait for 30 minutes and go. For second dose, you don't have to wait for 30 minutes, maybe around 15 minutes, so it's sufficient.
Okay, okay, doctor. Okay. So now we are almost 40 minutes past the conversation. So I think we'll take up questions from the viewers now.
That one
There is a
important
question.
part we are missed is a
Yeah,
menses part. There
yeah,
are a
I
lot
asked.
of this is social media. Some
Yeah,
regarding the girls who are having menses 5 days before and 5 days after you don't take
after,
vaccine.
yeah,
See, we are trying to tell everyone that such type of this, you please don't forward these things because our authenticated things, please don't forward because government guidelines are extremely clear. All the gynecologists federation everywhere said that the vaccine is safe, including in 5 days before menses, 5 days after menses, during menses. There is no contraindication if you have a proper menses for taking vaccination. Please pass on this message to all the eligible ladies because you don't have to listen to all these things. Even now they say that there is even in pregnancy you can take a vaccine. Even lactating mothers can give a vaccine, but till now at least guidelines don't have come on. So as of today, only contraindication for taking vaccine is pregnancy and lactation and allergy. Other than that,
yeah,
menses and this is not a contraindication. Please, this is a very important. You are the right this to send this message very clear and loud to all those who are having menses that please don't listen to all this social media crap which is going on and please don't forward it. I am really begging of
yeah,
you. Please don't forward it unless you confirm with the concerned authorities that is it correct or not. It's very easy to forward, but still, I
yeah.
want my sincere request that please don't take it very seriously. Menses has nothing to do with vaccination. You can take vaccination any day you want.
Yeah, I'll also reiterate this fact, doctor, that every girl, anybody who is having periods can take their vaccines, and please don't spread any sort of false or fake news on social media. Nowadays, we see a lot of fake news being spread, but also there are good things happening, like we're forwarding if there's any request for plasma donation or medicines or oxygen cylinders. So please keep that going, and let's not spread any more fake news.
See, I'm telling you, amazing. This technology has helped us a lot. But it is, the side effect of the technology also is there. But technology helps us because now we can keep the track of the patient who are asymptomatic, mildly symptomatic. We can talk to them. We can have a video call to see actually how he looks, how he walks, how he does his SpO2 is doing correctly or not. So,
Yeah.
technology is, you have to use it in the best sense so that we can prevent the mortality and morbidity, not by just sending this type of crap messages.
Yeah. Yeah, doctor. Now we'll take up questions from our viewers. So there's a question from Vaibhav Rudravar. He has asked, there's a confusion among people about gap in days between two doses. The staff involved for the process not allow the person who not completed 42 days gap. So can you please correct that confusion? Like how many days gap should be there between two doses?
Now they have standardized gap for 6 weeks.
Okay.
That means 4, 5, 6 weeks. Previously we were giving at 4 weeks. But now central government guidelines has take 4 weeks. After 4 weeks, you can take up to 3 months. But preferably you take when they have given the date. Don't change the date unless it is really required. Something you are absolutely not available. You have something, you are out of station. But wherever you go, now you can take this. Suppose today you have taken in Goa one vaccine. Tomorrow in Maharashtra, you can take your second dose there because that is a centralized COVID portal. So once you update your telephone number, automatically it will come that you have completed so many days, you can take the vaccine. So it is important now is 6 weeks is the standard. This is there. All the studies have done on 4 weeks, but over a period of time and the little subdivision when we have seen that the immunity lasts for longer if you have taken after 6 weeks.
Okay, okay, doctor. So next question is from Madhav Jaybhai. His question is, if a person is corona positive, after how many days he should get vaccinated?
I have told that actually, if once suppose I give you an example on 1st of April, if you
Yeah.
are corona positive, then you must take 6 weeks after that. That means on 15th of May you can take your first dose and continue like that. So 6 weeks after your certification means that means the report comes.
Okay, okay, doctor. And
Now, if you are
yeah,
seriously one more program. This is for asymptomatic and mildly symptomatic who are home quarantine and not even having this like too much of hospitalization, and you are bad, you are in ICU and all, then once you are discharged, you wait for 6 weeks. You understand what I'm trying to tell you? See, there are so
Yeah.
many types: mild, moderate, severe. So mild and asymptomatic who are at home can take after 6 weeks of initial your report comes. But suppose you are admitted in the hospital, you have undergone a very severe strain, you have been on ventilator, you have been HFNO, you have been taking oxygen at high level, and you have come out of all this disease. Then once you are discharged, after 6 weeks you can take.
Okay, doctor. Now there's a question from Dolly Dang. The question is, I got vertigo after 15th day of my second dose of Covishield vaccine. Could be the side effect. So she's asking, is it a side effect of the vaccine?
Vertigo means actually if you feel like, when you stand, you're trying to fall, then you will have to just assess it for a few more days. Just take Vertigon tablet for a few more days. Just see that if you have if you are having spondylitis, then rule out all the natural, which are the causes, which are standard causes for vertigo. If everything is not there, then it may be due to vaccine related. But after 15 days to get this thing is a little rare.
Okay, doctor. Now Prakash Holambe has asked, after how many doses of vaccine a person will become 100% safe?
100% safe, only God can keep you. Okay, I can only tell you that after taking second vaccine, 14 days is considered as a fully immunized. Like I will consider myself fully immunized. Now, actually, what you need is a neutralizing antibodies to see that you are fully, properly immunized or not. But that is not available, in most of the labs. What we available is a spike protein, which is available with us now, which I am doing also is a spike protein. That shows that yes, you have some spike protein antibodies are this, but neutralizing antibodies are one which will neutralize the COVID. If that is high, then definitely you will be totally almost, I would not say 100%. 100% guarantee only God gives. Maybe around 99% you will be this.
Yeah, doctor.
And in medicine, please don't ask for 100% from anyone. Because in medicine, 1 plus 1 is never 2. It can be 0, it can be 11, it can be 2 also. But you don't expect that every time it should be 2 only.
Yeah. Doctor, our next question is from Dharmendra Kumar. The question is, what is the status of normal flu in India? So has any kind of flu become COVID now? Because we used to, cough and sneeze even earlier. So
there is a tremendous drop in flu. That is because everybody is wearing mask.
yeah.
See, even I was getting some amount of bronchitis normally in February. We used to get every yearly, some people get bronchitis and all. There's a tremendous drop. I did not get this year because we were wearing mask. So a lot of things have gone down. Even your gastritis, gastrointestinal problems, your sneezing and all those things which people used to get regularly, even your severity of the bronchial asthma, bronchitis, all these things have gone down because people are wearing masks. Most of the people, I would not say all people are wearing masks, otherwise we would not have been in such a position today.
True.
At least those who are wearing masks can be beneficial. So flu has come down tremendously. Yes, little bit whatever is there, you can take a regular things and do. But you have to understand, you have to say flu only when you rule out COVID. Because now we have seen that almost 30% of the people who have COVID has RT-PCR negative. So even if you are having RT-PCR negative, you can't label him just like a simple flu unless you do your CT scan of the chest, HRCT of the chest, and the blood test, which are the markers like IL-6, ferritin, LDH, then CRP, D-dimer. These are the tests which we do to know the severity.
Yeah.
I have just now one patient whose antigen is negative, and I think his RT-PCR also will be negative in tomorrow. But his CT scan today shows COVID. So now we have sometimes of how to manage this type of patient, where to manage them. So there is a suspect ward now. In Goa Medical College, they have made a suspect ward. That means we strongly suspect that you have COVID, but the tests are not positive.
Yeah.
Then we don't know where to keep you. We can't keep you because I know your CT scan is showing COVID. I can't keep you with other patients. And you are negative RT-PCR. I can't keep you in a COVID ward.
COVID ward, yeah.
So there is a little bit of dilemma. So we have now something like suspect ward. In that we have this suspect patient who looks like what you call COVID, but the tests are negative. But in a very like a severe case, we take permission of the relatives, we take a permission of this and shift them to the COVID ward, because that ICU type of this is available only in few places. You can't treat in a suspect ward a very severe patient who is negative but having a COVID-like symptoms. So there's a little bit of confusion in that area, but that I think yesterday we had an expert committee meeting and they say that you take proper consent of the relatives and then shift them to the COVID ward and treat them properly. But one thing is sure, flu has gone down tremendously.
Yeah. Okay, doctor. Next, Vaibhav Rudravar has asked, vaccine is not available for children whose age is below 10. So is there any possibility of getting
Below 18.
vaccination for them?
Below
No,
18.
he's telling below 10, like children don't have, vaccination yet. So when will that come?
Below 18 you can't have.
Yeah, yeah.
As of today, below 18. 10 is not a cut-off date.
Below
18 is a cut-off date. Maybe when we do this, by the time some studies will come that even in children it is safe. We know that some studies have done and they feel that children also it is safe. But as of today, there is no studies to show that the children are safe with the vaccine. So once that vaccine study is over, I think they will be able to vaccinate this only. But the chances of children dying of this is extremely rare. It is extremely rare. That's why nobody is really, making long-term studies on children. There are some studies going on, but the result will take some another 1 or 2 months to come up. So after that, by the time we will complete some of our vaccination of 18 and above, and then once the proper robust data is there, then we can tell them that the even below 18 can take. But the chance of dying a young patient is rare,
Very
rarest of rare. Yeah.
Catherine Joseph has asked, do skin rashes develop on people who have taken vaccine? Because it is like a
That's-
side effect.
These are minor side effects are there. Even at the local hand, you can get swelling, you can have irritation, you will have a little bit discoloration, little less COVID hand, what we call heaviness of the hand you can get on the side of vaccination. Little bit of skin rashes can come. See, these are minor what you call side effects, adverse effect, I would say. Adverse effect, minor adverse effect, because we have to see the larger benefit. If you can prevent from the death, all these things are very minor, and I think you should not. Yes, you are concerned about because it's on your body, but there are things treatment available for that. So you can take from the skin. People can take some lactocalamine lotion, apply those. Take some vitamin E, which will give your those rashes and all will go. So you take a local doctor's opinion on that and get the treatment done. But it is not a life threatening.
Okay. Dr. Uday Kiran has asked, I need an understanding on the efficacy of Indian vaccines. When Moderna and Pfizer are at 95%, our Indian vaccines are at 70 to 75%. So are they still effective?
See, Watson, I have already explained that efficacy does not mean your end result is good. Your efficacy may be 70%. Anything more than 60% efficacy is a vaccine which is useful. And the studies now, over a period of time, we have seen that if you are vaccinated by any vaccine, you are prevented from death in almost 99.99%. I give you the data also. In USA, I will again give you the data. In USA, they have done 70 million people. In India also, we have got almost 14 crores. None of them who have properly vaccinated have died.
Yeah.
Very few may be, that too doubtful deaths because of comorbidities or because of COVID, we have to take a decision. Extremely few. In Goa, I can tell you that none of these people who have died have taken proper full vaccination dose. So I think the efficacy is different part. It's on the in the lab, but in the actually setting, what we see that almost all the vaccines prevent deaths. Yes.
Yes.
Exceptions are there, as I have told you in medicine. Exceptions are always there, but it is like it's like you're dying in an accident. So that much the risk is much less than that.
Okay. Doctor, one viewer has also asked if surgical mask is enough or N95 or KN95 masks are required.
With this new meter, we advise actually double 3-layer mask or a thicker mask which you can wear. N95 you also will prevent you, but problem is N95 is a cost and is not available generally for the people. But if you can really do a proper double layer, this type of mask, if you as double, double 2, then also it can be preventing you. See, it is important you have to realize. If there are both the people are wearing mask, simple mask also, not even N95, simple mask. If I am wearing and you are wearing and we are at 1.5 meter distance, the chance of anything transfer is less than 1%. If both are not wearing, it is 95%. So just by wearing simple mask in both people, it is around 1%. Suppose he is wearing and I am not wearing, it is around 10%. So, it
Yeah.
is important in the end. That's why we say, whatever is the outcome, you have to wear a mask. At least for another 1 year, everything this settles, we are not going to get away from the mask. Mask is the most important thing and it prevents the flu also.
Yeah. Dr. Vaibhav Rudravar has asked if people have life-threatening diseases, then is the vaccination effective?
Yes, we are now giving in cancer patients, we are giving in cardiac patients, we are giving in diabetic patients, ischemic heart disease, operated patients. Everyone has to take. I told you that only contraindication as of now, only because of government of India has not made that change of pregnant and lactating, is pregnant, lactating and severe allergy. Even allergy you can take in a hospital setting with keeping everything around. That also is not a very important contraindication. So as of now, if you ask me, the only contraindication is lactating mother and the pregnant mother, which also will go over a period of time. So your disease is acute disease. Yes, acute disease you have. You have fever, you are admitted in the hospital, then you can't take.
Yeah.
So once you settle, you can take the vaccine.
Okay. The next question is if, I think you answered this earlier, but we'll just take it. So if someone is infected after the first dose, when should be the next dose be taken?
I have told you that if after you have infected after first dose, then you have to extend the second dose after 6 weeks. If you are infected after the second dose, you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Suppose after the second, you are fully vaccinated, and if you suffer from COVID, you don't have to do anything. You have to just continue with that life.
Yeah.
So after first dose is very important because most of them get infected after first dose because before something, they develop their antibodies they take. So chance of getting infected with COVID after second dose and 14 days is just 7%.
Yeah.
And dying due to that is negligible. 99.99% you will not die. And hospitalization also will be decreased by almost 60-70%. So what else you want from the vaccine? Tell me what you want.
Yeah.
You don't have significant side effects. You don't have significant contraindication that not to take vaccine, and you are getting your hospitalization decrease. You are decreasing your death rates. And still you are asking me now question why I should take and why I should not take and what are the complications, what are these. Now we have seen so many people, now we have got a live experience in dealing with this vaccination. It's not that I am talking just by studies and all. We have actually seen patients. So where is the now question? I think you have to just take out of your that thought block that vaccine will harm you. A vaccine is, if at all, is going to save you from the potential death. And today, with the rate of positivity, every alternate man who is seeing on the road may be positive.
Yeah.
So you have to take care, you have to vaccinate yourself and see that not only you, your friends, your dear ones, your parents, see that everybody they also get.
Yeah.
If you have a boyfriend, don't go too near to him unless he is fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
Tell him that you vaccinate and then you only talk to me. So it's very important for your age group is to convince because you people are the messengers of us. You can send down this message fast. You people are so on WhatsApp and these all types of different things on social media. I think just try to cut down the people who are sending some negative. For once, all this negativity will go. You have to remove. Stop talking. Watching the media also. TV also you stop. Don't see all the time. See, negativity builds up in you.
Yeah.
Be positive. I want to save myself. I want to save the society. Please be positive and start working for that. You all can help in making this India also COVID free maybe after some time.
Yeah.
One more thing I have to
next.
This time there is a little change compared to the first wave. First wave was slow. If you see the first wave, it was like this, and then it was increasing like this. This is like a spike. So sometimes after maybe around, once you get herd immunity, it's like seroprevalence we call. Suppose we randomly we check people and do their antibodies, and we find around 50%, 60%. Then that means in 2.5 weeks time it will come down. Like Bombay, they have done. Bombay, they have found that almost 40% are already positive. So another 10-15% becomes positive, then I think it will come down this wave. But till then, it's important to concentrate on deaths. We have to try to prevent as many deaths as possible. Yes, I am sure that we are human beings. Maybe we will not be able to decrease deaths to a 0%, but we try our best to see that patients get admitted in time, they get oxygenation in time, they get the treatment properly. See, the treatment, three important treatments today is which has proved that it's the best. First is Dolo. Simple. It is a treatment, paracetamol tablet, which can decrease your inflammation to the level. Oxygenation. Then third is, most important is steroids. Dexamethasone or prednisolone, whatever is doctors use. And the last one is aspirin. It means this D-dimer is high, that the low molecular weight or aspirin. These things are the one which is found that extremely important in the treatment. Remdesivir and other things which are Tosi and all those things. No one has shown that it will decrease your death. They may decrease your hospital stay to some extent, but they will not decrease your death. So don't run after remdesivir. Don't buy remdesivir is the highest rate and in the black market and say that I bought today for 1 lakh and all. Please don't do that. If you don't have remdesivir, you are not going to die. Simple things which are going to help you is oxygenation, proper oxygenation, steroids injection which are available in plenty in outside, paracetamol tablet which will keep your fever under check, and low molecular weight heparin which will give you clots formation, which is COVID causes clot formation. So that declotting them and giving a blood thinner is helpful. So these are the things which are helpful. So people are running after remdesivir. Do you have remdesivir? Do you have Tosi? Do you have these sending SMSs? I want this from from Bombay. I am getting a call from Calcutta. I am getting. Do you have? Please send this medicine. See, they are not going to save you from the death. Yes, they are a part of the cocktail which we use normally in the actually new protocol of AIMS. You are saying that what other thing which can help is a puffs of the steroids.
Okay.
Puffs which you take, they are also like mild cases and asymptomatic patients. You can take the puffs also. Yes, it is little difficult to convince patient how to take them exactly. But if you read that what is written on this, I think that is also sufficient and take the puffs.
Okay. So we'll go to the next question, doctor. It is from Tamogna Day. She's asking, what if I am asymptomatic and don't know that I have COVID? Then what happens if I take the vaccine?
Nothing. You have to take vaccine. See, there may be so many people. Now, problem is that you don't know that you have COVID. You don't have symptoms. Still, the virus may be there in you because the incubation period is almost 14 days. But that doesn't prevent you from taking vaccine. And these are the exactly few people who will come out with positivity after that I have got a COVID after even in spite of taking vaccine. So you may come with the vaccine you take, but you are already having COVID inside. So you may say that manifest it maybe after 5 days, 6 days. And these are the people who say that I have taken vaccine and now I have come positive. The possibility is there. But you don't worry, nothing is going to happen adversely to you if you have taken a vaccine and you don't know your COVID status. You have to take. Even if you don't know your COVID status, you have to take. Yes, if you have fever, that means you are potentially symptomatic people. So I have already told you, if you have an acute thing, you don't take. So you wait for the fever to subside so that you are at least a major part of infectivity is over, then you can take.
Okay. Doctor, next question is from Deep Joy Mampili. His question is, can you please explain why one should not take vaccination for some time after recovery, and what is the duration after which a recovered person can take vaccination? Like mainly
So
why?
These are means patients who are admitted with COVID in the hospital, if I am not mistaken. See, you have undergone so much of this, and if you are having a severe COVID to the extent that you need ICU care and you require a lot of oxygenation and all, that means you are already developing antibodies inside. So we can wait and you are a little weak on that side, you are, you still not come out of it. Post COVID, you have to need treatment and all those things. You have to go inside and outside the hospital repeatedly. We have to wait and see if you develop further fever again. So we have to wait for about 6 weeks after your discharge, and then you can take safely. That means you have to recoup yourself and then you take, because you already have developed antibodies. One who is severely infected, 100% will have antibodies. Yes, one who is asymptomatic need not have antibodies. That's why they become asymptomatic, because they don't have severe disease. But the test will come positive, so you don't have antibodies. So there are some people. These are the people who will again chance of getting COVID is high. That's why we said, I had COVID, again I got COVID. These are the people who have now developed sufficient antibodies that immunity was not touched by the COVID in the first time.
Okay. Yeah, doctor, next question is from Rita. Her question is, if I'm going to take my first vaccine dose, do I have to take RT-PCR test before getting the vaccine dose?
No, definitely not. No, this is definitely not indicated. Unless you have fever, I said, unless you are symptomatic, then you do the test. Because in a symptomatic, anyway you have fever, I will not give you vaccine, active fever. So if you have active fever in the present sitting, anybody who complains of fever, body ache, loose motions, sneezing, you must do the test. Yes, tests are failure also, but active fever is there, I will not advise you to take vaccine. Wait for time for your fever to subside, then you can take the vaccine. But you don't have to take compulsory RT-PCR. If you are asymptomatic, you don't have to take RT-PCR and come. No need.
Yeah. Next question is that there are reports that after the vaccine, miscarriage in women went up by 366% in USA. Is that true?
Miscarriages. That means they were already vaccinated when they were pregnant.
Yeah.
Or this not
maybe or maybe later. I'm not sure.
The difference of one is that you, first of all, we have said that you don't vaccinate when you are pregnant.
When you're pregnant.
So
yeah.
one of the causes for this is that we don't know what is going to happen, because there are no proper studies done for long term to see what is going to happen. So just married and not taking precautions to not to have baby, then they can take the vaccine. But if you are have a normal sex, then I think you should not take the vaccine, because you don't know you are pregnant or not for at least 15 days. That gap. So unless you are you want to take a vaccine, just do your pregnancy test. Just married people, just you do your pregnancy. You are trying for a child, do the pregnancy test. If it's negative, you can take.
Okay, doctor. Next question is, do you think there is any validity to the vaccine causing blood clots because the needle wasn't properly aspirated before injecting?
No, in this, no. In this particular injection, we don't aspirate, because there are no vessels there. You are not aspirate, because when you aspirate, you are taking to try to sometimes take a air inside. So you don't get. If you see all the time, sisters, when you give it, they just poke and push, because in this area of this there are no vessels coming there. So they have you just put your 2-3 fingers here and you just below you identify the place of deltoid muscle and put it in a deep muscle, deep intramuscular. Sometimes they may get hematoma is because if they are on blood thinners. So those who are on blood thinners or acetylene or warfarin, we tell them to hold this, don't rub, just hold tight. Just hold tight for about at least 5 minutes, so that if there is little bit of blood is there, which will otherwise in a normal man would not have caused any problem, in a patient who is on blood thinner may have got a little longer time to clot. So just allow it, just fix it, don't rub. After taking a vaccine, you just put a finger and just keep it like that for at least 5 minutes for those who are on blood thinner. Those who are not on blood thinner, you don't have to do anything, just after maybe 30 seconds. And don't aspirate when you give this injection.
Okay. Next question is from Devshala Kamthane. The question is it true that everyone has to take the vaccine again next year?
That only God only knows. Okay. That's what I was trying to tell you. One important thing you have to realize: if we don't complete our vaccination in a fixed time, I don't know what is going to happen to my vaccine, which I have taken about 6 months back or 8 months back. Now I have taken on 16th of Jan. And suppose vaccination continues and not be, in spite of next year also we are not completed even 60%. Maybe God may tomorrow they may say that you take one more shot of a booster after some time. But that we'll see when it comes. First, we'll try to get vaccinated as many people as possible. Yes, if there is one more vaccine, we'll take vaccine. See, I have to leave. If I have to leave, I have to do what scientists tell me to do.
Yeah. Next question is from Anand Pavan. The question is, the long-term studies of vaccines have shown that there are significant side effects. And with such a short-term trial for COVID, how can we rule out the long-term effects of this vaccine? Like, will we
See,
have
now,
long-term side effects later?
yeah, previous long-term side effects we don't know as of now, but there are not significant side effects with the long-term with these vaccines. One thing is that mRNA vaccines, which are about USA-based vaccine, which are there, everybody was thinking that it's going to change your genetic code and all. It just doesn't enter
Yeah.
there only. So it is just, it's about WhatsApp problems only. Second thing, some doctors only have got modified intentions and they only see, I am telling you, intelligent people will never agree on one thing. And in medicine, it is the same. If I tell you, you go to 10 people for a cancer of the breast treatment, 10 will give you 10 different things. So in medicine, some people will have objection to this, objection to that, yes, this. But important is what majority people feel, what is peer reviewed, everything is reviewed now. They say that this is a vaccine of the choice as of now. See, I have to survive this COVID to see the long-term effect. Yes, about 20 years back, 30 years back, the technology was not so advanced, so we had to wait for proper double-blind study. Is it possible to do a double-blind randomized trial now in this situation? In pandemic situation, these things can't. So you can't wait for that before more people will die or just waiting for the randomized trial to happen. So I think the sufficient data is now there, and actually we have seen the data and have seen that actually 6 months data we have now. Hardly any side effects. Long-term side effects, yes, but we have to survive now. So please think of the present. Then we'll think about the future.
True, doctor. Next question is from Avishrant Mishra. If a person has taken one dose of vaccine and gets positive just before his second dose is due, then when he has to take the second dose, as it might increase 8 weeks gap between two vaccine doses. So will it have any effect?
No, you can. Yeah. As I have told you, after coming positive, you have to wait for 6 weeks and do. So actually, that COVID, if you come positive, it's like a booster acting on you. It's not a problem. So you continue, and the positivity of the COVID itself will give you some amount of antibodies. So it's like a booster only. So you don't have to worry.
So
6
that
weeks
gap
after
is not a problem.
No, not at all.
Okay. Next question from our viewer is, how does the vaccine interact with people on anticonvulsants or antidepressants? So please take my question, as I take lamotrigine and also I might take antidepressant as well.
No, I don't think they have got any problem with this type of medicines. You can safely take the vaccine. These things are regular. A lot of people are on this antidepressants and all, which is going on. A lot of people are there on Levipril and other things which will decrease the convulsions. So I don't think there is any interactions with all these things. You can safely take. You can take your opinion of your doctor who has prescribed you, and then you can take. But from my side, I don't think there is anything we have given to everyone who has got given anything. So that's not a problem.
Yeah. Okay, doctor. We have a question from Facebook. So till when and how many times can one donate plasma? As I was positive last November 2020. You can also give a general answer, like how many.
This is called as convalescent plasma. See, when you donate after COVID positivity, is called as convalescent plasma. You can donate normal plasma also, which doesn't have antibodies. Convalescent plasma you can donate only after 28 days, and if your plasma shows antibodies. We do first your sample, we do the testing. If you have got IgG antibodies are there, if it is more than one, if you have, then you can donate. And then if you have a apheresis machine where you can take out only plasma and you can send back the other things, you can donate every 15 days.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you do give a regular this, like a 3 months, once in 3 months, like you donate full blood, and they separate out only plasma, and blood they use for somebody else, plasma they use for somebody else. plasma you can use in two, because 200,
Yeah.
200 you can use when you remove in a apheresis. So that is possible. Apheresis machine will give you every 15 days, you can give every week also you can give if you want.
Okay. Doctor, we had discussed this, but Daryl has asked this question. Can the second dose be of a different brand?
No. As of now, no. There are no studies done on that. So we cannot say that you can take all those things. In the future, you never know what can come. That is when our studies are done, we can see.
Okay. Um, then there's a question from Twitter that the nasal spray vaccine, will it be given to those people who have already taken 2 doses of Indian vaccine?
No, why you want to take more vaccines when you have already taken two vaccines? Yeah, if you want to do, you take a third vaccine, additional vaccine, you'll have to do first neutralizing antibodies and see that no antibodies are developed, then you can take. Like I myself was a candidate for a trial on Covaxin. Covaxin trial, I was their candidate, and so I took the vaccine. I don't know I took the vaccine or I took the placebo, but because they don't know. After that, I checked my antibodies. No antibodies were there, so I took a Covishield. So you have to do the antibody test, proper antibodies. If you are not done, then you may take a proper opinion of a doctor, and then only you take.
Okay. Then next question is from Vishnu Prasad Das. If somebody has blood pressure, then it is dangerous for vaccine or not? Is it dangerous for a person with blood pressure to take vaccine? Because there is a fear of blood clots.
No, no, not at all. I have explained to you that blood clot, this is a minor problem. And if you are already on blood thinner and all, it is help you only. If you are worried about the blood clots, if you are already on aspirin or Deplat, it is not going to cause you any harm. See, these are very minor, means extremely rare complications. Now, if you read aspirin tablet only complication in that, if you start reading that, you will never take an aspirin tablet also.
Yeah.
If you see all the medicine which you are taking, and if you really read that this what you call mm, side effects of, and please don't go on these small things. When a larger interest is there in a pandemic, this when everybody is trying to control the disease as such. I think everybody getting vaccinated is an important factor. Simultaneously getting herd immunity will come only when we vaccinate around 70% of the population. So I feel that everybody should be a part of this control. You can become a COVID warrior yourself by just taking a vaccine. That means you are helping the country. So you can also name yourself, yes, I am a COVID warrior because I have taken a vaccine.
Okay. Dr. Varshni Kumar has asked, can you suggest alternative medicines that can be taken after vaccination for people who are allergic to paracetamol or Dolo?
Allergic to paracetamol,
Yeah.
and you have pain. There are so many things are
Yeah.
there, but actually, except maybe diclofenac injection, you can take tablets which are not a problem. Ibuprofen you can take, Ibugesic you can take, whatever you want to take. Painkiller. There are so many painkillers are available, but injectable you don't take as far as possible, because injectable they themselves have got a problem. So it's better to take tablets only.
Okay. Then again, people have asked about the difference between Covaxin and Covishield. Which one is better for elder people? Is there anything specific?
Everything is safe now, and there is nothing like better and all, whatever available. See, the bulk production of Covishield is around 10 crores per month, while Covaxin is only 1.5 crore. So, you can't wait for this, all these things you will have across the shelf, the vaccines will not be available at least for another 1 year. So what is available, you first take, so that you at least are at least 100% safe from the death. Then later on, we'll see how the things work out for you.
Okay. Dr. Ashish Sinha has asked, his mother has taken both the doses, but since yesterday has a mild fever and body pain. So is it just a side effect or should he be worried?
No, you have to first do the COVID test. When there was the second dose, when the second dose was taken.
That is not given. So
Because that's important. After second dose, after 7 days of second dose, suppose you get this fever and all, you must do the test, COVID test, and if it's negative, you treat like any other flu.
Okay. One other question from one of the viewers is, can people with high hemoglobin, that is 16 to 17, take vaccine?
They can take a vaccine provided they do remove the they are what you call, in this type of people we do letting out of the blood if you are having, so you can let out the blood and then you can take, but you will have to ask your hematologist, because it depends on how bad it is. If it is very bad, maybe you may avoid it, but if it is 16 17, then you are, just let them don't, take out the blood and then you can take. If it is 20 plus and all, then I think you better consult your hematologist that what level his coagulation will be taken.
Okay. Again, about menstruation, there's a question, doctor. I think we need to again reiterate that. Kiran Juturu has asked, can vaccination be taken during menstruation cycle? Does taking vaccination impact future menstruation cycle and impact fertility issue?
I think there is absolutely safe for the vaccine to take during menses, after menses, before menses, except pregnancy and except lactating women. I think there is no contraindication for any lady to take this vaccine. So please don't go by those WhatsApps which are coming up. We have given a sufficient clarification on this. Government also has given sufficient clarification on this. All the scientists have given. FOXI has given, which is like a Federation of Obstetric and Gynecologists, also have given a clearance for this. So please don't go by WhatsApp. Otherwise, we will become WhatsApp doctors only.
Okay, yeah. One last question, doctor. Vaibhav Angre has asked, if someone is heart patient and having done angioplasty before a year, is there any complication if he takes vaccine?
No, it is safer for them because they are already on Diplate and aspirin. If you have done 1 year back, you will be taking all these blood thinners. So the complication which you are all are worried about clotting is already taken care by. So I don't think there is any problem and any worry to take a vaccine. Even if I taken immediately after 3 months also of the vaccination, this our angioplasty, you can take vaccine safely.
Okay, doctor. So finally, do you want anything that you want to tell our viewers?
Mine is only vaccine, vaccine, and vaccine. That's the only thing which can decrease the morbidity and mortality due to COVID. Yes, you have to wear your mask after vaccination. You have to have social distancing. You have to have your hand washing things are continuous. And if when you sneeze and all, just take up extra precautions. And if you have fever, now if you have fever and all, body ache, any other symptom which is rare in this pandemic, I think you first, unless otherwise proved it is COVID. So now you can do your COVID test, either you do antigen or you do RT-PCR, but do some tests at least to see if you are positive or not, because then you know that if you are positive, you have to isolate yourself. So please, only weapon we have as of now is only vaccine, vaccine, and vaccine. Whichever vaccine is available, you take.
Yeah. Yeah, doctor. So we'll wind up the session now. And I really want to thank you for taking time out from your busy schedule to be a part of this conversation. I would like to thank you on behalf of Press Information Bureau and Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. And also, I would like to thank Dempo College of Commerce and Economics and the students who participated, and the Vice Principal, Gauri Tamba, who participated in this conversation. Thank you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. That was a very wonderful session. It was very interesting. We got so many questions from our viewers and we could patiently answer all of them. I think questions are still flowing, but due to lack of time, we need to wind up now. Thank you, Aishwarya. You also done a wonderful job.
Thank you.